Hi everyone, Mr. Messier here to talk with our 100% virtual students. In this video, we're going to share a little bit about what the school day will look like for our virtual students. We'll take a look at the first few days in particular, which are a little bit different than the way things will progress after we get through those first couple of days of school. We'll talk about our upcoming teacher meet and greet and our material distribution, our textbook distribution process we're going to have for our 100% virtual students. We'll also talk about the AMS virtual learning norms, our rules and procedures for how to conduct ourselves in virtual learning. And then we're going to talk about some suggestions on how to make this format work best for you, our middle school students. So here's a big question. What will virtual learning look like? Well, all students are required to participate starting at 7:45 a.m. with our morning meeting program. That'll take place in a Google Meet for a morning meeting where you'll watch the morning announcements and complete our school-wide social emotional learning activities, such as our One School, One Book program, our discussions, and other things that we typically do in morning meeting. Students will then transition to their Google Meet classes following their typical school schedule. So running through our 42-minute period schedule, our virtual learning students will experience the school day through Google Meet. How will I find my Google Meet? Well, go to the AMS homepage and then the team landing pages. For each team, there's a landing page and it'll have your weekly learning calendar, which will load up here on the screen in just a second, showing you what assignments and activities are due when. And then it'll show you the virtual classrooms links that'll be populated on that spreadsheet down below. So again, go to the AMS homepage, team landing page for your team, scroll down and you'll see the learning calendar followed by the links to the Google Meet virtual classrooms for your team. So you'll click on those links. That'll be located right in this space here. How will the first few days of school work? Well, like we said at the beginning of the video, the first few days of school are always a little bit different. That's true every single school year, and this year is no exception. So the first couple of days, well, remember, this is a new format for all of us, and there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve as your teachers get used to operating with the web camera that we've given each one of them, and in operating the classroom instruction that's happening in front of them in the room. So this is a new format. It's something that we're learning more about as we get going. So have a little bit of patience with all of us as we get used to this new format, please. The first day of school will be on Wednesday, September 9th, and our 100% virtual students will tune in to their morning meeting group on Google Meet on that Wednesday. Morning meeting on the first day of school runs from 7:45 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. So it's a long morning meeting period, just like we would have in person here in the school. And you'll be in a morning meeting group that will be meeting here in school. So our virtual students are spread out amongst our classrooms on a regular schedule basis. And so they'll have Google meeting in the morning for that orientation period to get to know a little bit more about the school, the procedures, and what's going to happen over the course of the coming weeks. Students will then follow a modified schedule on that first day of school. You'll have about 30 minutes in each one of your classes that will be run down on your student schedule. Also in that morning meeting that will take place on Wednesday the 9th, you'll receive your actual schedule through School Tool, and you'll be able to see what classes will occur and in what order. Here is the schedule for the first days of school, and this is the first day on Wednesday the 9th. It's that special modified schedule we talked about, and we'll share this slide out so you don't have to write down these times right now. We'll share out this slide so that everybody knows what time classes begin and end on that day. Well, the second day of school on Thursday the 10th will be a little bit different than that format. We're going to have our Google Meet morning meeting, so students will tune in for their Google Meet and morning meeting. They'll watch the announcements, and then at the conclusion of the announcements, our virtual learning students will break off and they will complete independent learning activities which have been prepared by our teachers here at Algonquin. We're excited to share these fun activities for the second day of school, and we'll show you a little bit about them right now. So again, this document will be shared out with students. It'll list out the activities that we're asking them to complete on this second day of school. On the third day, Friday the 11th, we're going to kick things off, like you guessed it, in a Google Meet morning meeting. And then we'll begin our regular schedule of classes. And that will be the typical schedule that students will begin to follow on a regular basis here at Algonquin. Another document we'll share out is our school building schedule that lists out the times. On the fourth day of school and thereafter, you're going to keep going to morning meeting to kick off your day at 7:45 a.m. And teachers will communicate on what days you will need to tune into live instruction from their classrooms or receive video instruction from them at different points as well. The teachers will set that schedule and they'll communicate that out with you via the team learning calendar as well as direct emails. Other days, students will work on independent activities that'll be posted on that team landing page. But again, more information will be coming from your teachers as we gear up and move into what will be the second week of school. In September, we're going to hold a virtual student meet and greet and material pickup because we want to get to know you. That will take place on September 15th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. here at AMS. In the soccer field, the baseball field, the softball field, and the football fields will be very well spaced out and physically distanced, but a chance for you to get to meet your teachers that you have on your team, and then also pick up materials and textbooks that are being provided to you. We'll share a lot more information about this event as we get closer to it. We're also holding a Chromebook pickup, and this is going to happen very soon. Grade 6 students who are virtual only can pick up their Chromebook on Wednesday, September 2nd from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Again, our grade 6 virtual students will pick up their Chromebooks on Wednesday the 2nd from 3 to 6 p.m. It'll be a curbside pickup, and our hybrid students will receive their Chromebook in morning meeting. But again, this is for virtual grade 6 students only. Our virtual 7th and 8th grade students should already have their Chromebook from last school year. Let's take a minute and talk about our virtual learning norms. Here at AMS, our teachers have developed a series of virtual class meeting norms. We're asking that all students be prepared with their computer charged and set up in a quiet space, and to wear school-appropriate clothing when conducting class meetings. To be on time as well. Perhaps set an alarm on your phone or device to be able to alert you when it is time to be ready to go and in your Google Meet. Of course, we ask everyone to communicate respectfully and stay on topic at all times, just like we would in the classroom. We ask that you mute your mic. When you're in the main Google Meet classroom, please turn off your mic and then turn it on to talk. Of course, you can unmute in breakout small group meetings. We ask that you respect privacy, never to take screenshots, photos, or videos of classmates and staff the same way that you would conduct yourself in person here in school. We want everyone to be an active participant, raising their hand to speak, typing in the chat box, and doing your part in those breakout rooms to be an active member of group work. There should be no other devices or windows open when you're conducting your work through class meetings, unless your teacher gives you permission to. We really should not be gaming. As you can see, the game controller crossed off there, and then the cell phones also away like they would be in class. We ask that you turn on your camera when you're meeting in your classes and to message your teacher if there's a reason why you cannot. And to please follow, of course, all school rules and class rules established by your teacher. As you think about making virtual learning work for you, there's a number of suggestions our staff here at AMS have as you kick off your virtual learning for the beginning of the school year. First thing to remember is to get back into the school routine. And that means establishing for yourself a regular routine like you would have here in school, to set your alarm, to get up for the start of the morning, have breakfast, and be ready to go. Consider setting an alarm on your Chromebook to notify you when each class is about to start. We're asking that students spend the time that they would in class, those 40 minutes every day on the scheduled basis, to make sure that they're ready to learn for those individual classes. Students should be conducting all of their work between 7:45 a.m. and 2:25 p.m. Remember, start your day by checking your email as well. Part of our routine, checking your email, going to your Google Meet for a morning meeting, and watching the morning announcements, all part of how you start your day. Identify your learning space for the upcoming school year. Where are you going to do your work? Where it's a good spot in your home to set up your learning and to focus on your instruction. Remember to ask questions of your peers and your teacher. If you have a question, be sure to ask that question. And that's really something that's important in the virtual learning model, to self-advocate, as they say, to take it upon yourself to make sure that you're having your questions answered. And remember, as always, work hard to start and stay organized throughout the school year ahead. We are here for you. Remember to reach out to your teachers, your team leader, your counselors, Dr. Road, or myself. If you ever have any questions, we are here to help support you in this virtual learning environment. Well, there you have it, our 100% virtual students program orientation. We hope that this information is helpful to you as you get ready to start virtual learning on September 9th, 2020.